During this phase you will expend 1 bloodstone for its pip cost to capture enemy villages. In the capture villages portion of the turn structure, the necromancers are spending this tile for the cost to capture. This tile has 5 pips on it, but they would only be expending 4 of them. 1 here in the plains, a cost of 2 here in the hills, and 1 here in the forest for a total of 4, leaving 1 pip left over. This phase only affects the necromancer player and their undead units, which are a lighter shade of purple. They do not have to expend a bloodstone for this, and each undead may move up to 2 spaces, ignoring terrain costs. They may move individually or as a group, and during this movement they can cross sea bridges as normal, but they may also move both through and into mountain spaces. They may also end their turn in a desert space and not be eliminated during the check desert portion of the turn structure. During the main action phase, which is the bulk of your turn, you will build, move, and battle as many times as you like, in any order you like. This means you can move units into multiple battles, and build units into areas where battles are taking place before triggering said battles. As an example, you could build this skirmisher unit, which has no bloodstone cost, which means it can be placed directly on the map anywhere you have a village or citadel. This sword unit, however, does have a stone cost, as indicated on the left side. You would need to spend 1 bloodstone from your hand, in which case all costs on the front of the tile become irrelevant. As another example, you could build this shield unit. Once more, you would expend 1 other bloodstone from your hand. You could build it into either the citadel, or as shown in this example, the village. One final example, a castle, one of the highest cost units at 2 bloodstones to build. We're using a blank and a ship in this example as the cost, building the castle next to the citadel. Note that the ship units can be built in sea spaces adjacent to your citadel or villages. This movement example shows us using the right side of a tile for its pips, in this case 3 pips, which would give us 3 points worth of movement. Do note that there are multiple types of terrain on the map: plains, mountains, desert, forest, and hills. The plains only cost 1 pip of movement to move. So in this example, the sword unit could move 1, 2, 3. Another way to spend the 3 points of movement, you could go 1, 2 for 2 points of movement into the forest, and 1 final point again into the plains. Another way to spend the pips to make the most of them would be by traveling across a sea bridge. Land units cannot move into sea spaces. However, if there are ships linking multiple adjacent sea spaces, then a land unit can travel across them into a land space, paying only the cost of whatever land space is at the end of their journey. In this case, a plains, which would end up costing only 1 movement. So again, across the sea bridge, whatever land space is your destination, that will be the movement cost. In this case, ending in the hills would end up costing 3. Leader unit, of which a faction will have either 1 or 2, provides free movement. This leader unit, holding the banner, will take this cavalry unit into this plain space, costing only 1 movement. The shield unit will also move into the plains for 1 point of movement. Both of these sword units will move into this forest space for 1, 2, 3, 4 points worth of movement. And then this sword unit will move here for 1. And then this sword unit will move here, across this sea bridge, into here for 1 point of movement. That covers all 8 points worth of movement, as shown on the 2 bloodstones used at the top. Though withdrawal is a part of the battle step, we are touching on it here as well, as it is an important tactical consideration for movement. Here we are showing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 points worth of movement for the Necromancer player. This skirmisher is moving 1, 2 into the forest. This sword is moving 3, 4 into the forest. This will reinforce the battle where the undead unit was already present. This cavalry unit is using the 5th point of movement into the plains past an enemy village. You can move through enemy villages, but not enemy units. The 6th point of movement starts another battle. The shield unit would be unable to withdraw because the Necromancer player has a cavalry unit present. The siege engine is using both the 7th and 8th points of movement to move into a battle at the Horse Lord's Citadel. Neither the leader unit nor shield unit would be able to withdraw in this instance because if one of your building units, either a castle or a citadel, is present in a conflict, you must stay to defend. If this goblin unit had been the unit present in this fight instead of a cavalry unit, the shield unit would be able to withdraw as both the attacker and defender would have had the same amount of cavalry, and it decides to withdraw into a fight where it already has presence. Two units can withdraw across this bridge to here, alright, or they could withdraw to here, okay? These two units cannot withdraw here, they're not allowed to because of the enemy village, alright? They also cannot withdraw here because of the enemy faction present, but they can withdraw here. In this instance, the Horse Lord's player, represented by the white Bloodstones, is the attacker. As such, this lizard unit would not receive its +1 bonus because it is not attacking. This shield unit would also not receive its +1 bonus as the Horse Lord's player is the attacker, not the defender. But this sword unit will be getting its +1. Its bonus is not conditional. Over here in this battle, the Horse Lords are again attacking. They would be receiving +1 from their leader and +1 from their cavalry because the fight is in the plains. On the Dragon Rider side, this cavalry is also providing +1 in the plains, +1 from the shield, and +1 from the sword unit. Each skirmisher provides +1 in the forest battle. This example, the Dragon Riders in red are versing the Horse Lords in white. This right here is the territory in which they're fighting. Now, white does not have the option to withdraw because there is a dragon in the fight, so a battle will take place. Alright, currently, white is showing as the defender. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points worth of battle because their shield guy is involved. They get +1 from him when they are defending. Over here, the Dragon Lords are showing 1, 2, 3, 4 dragon units, 1 cavalry, and 1 dragon. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 points worth of battle. Alright, so this is the same battle we had on the map. We've just pulled it out here to show you every unit. Alright, over here the Dragon Riders are the attackers. Alright, and over here the Horse Lords are the defenders. The Dragon Riders are currently showing 1, 2, 3, 4 battle. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Alright, because they are the attacker, these guys do get their +1. Over here, conversely, they do get their +1 from being the defender. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, this battle was taking place in the plains, so the cavalry get their +1. So the total currently is 9 versus 6. And because they have the same amount of units, they're each going to draw 3 tiles. Alright? Neither side would be able to see these tiles being drawn. So let's say the Dragon Riders drew these 3 tiles here. Alright? They decide they want to swap out their 2 from a tile on their board for something a little higher. Alright, so now this adds to their battle total. The Horse Lords over here draw their 3 tiles. Alright, they decide not to swap anything out. So totaling up, theirs is 5, 5, 4 is 14, plus the 6 they initially had is 20. And then over here, 5, 4, 4 is 13, plus the 9 they initially had
is 22. So in this instance, the Dragon Riders would win.
In this instance, again, red is the attacker and white is the defender. If we count up the amount of units each side has, red has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 total units. White has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 total units. So that would mean that neither faction has unit advantage, and they would both be drawing 3 tiles from the battle bag. However, if white were to have had one more unit in play, this would make their total amount of units on the map 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 total units, as opposed to the 6 units of the red player. This means they would get unit advantage and would draw an extra tile from their battle bag. The red player would still only draw 3. The white player would discard one of the 4 tiles before deciding whether to substitute a tile from their hand. In this instance, the Chaos Horde is attacking the Necromancer player. The Chaos Horde has 1, 2, 3, 4 units versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units. This means the Necromancer player will draw 4 battle tiles from the bag. Over here, the Chaos Horde is showing 4 points toward the battle. On this side, the Necromancer is showing only 3 points, as the Goblins provide no battle points when defending. The Chaos Horde draws these tiles from the battle bag. The Necromancers have drawn these tiles, which means the Chaos Horde are the winners. This means that the Necromancer units would have to retreat as they have lost the battle. First, the Chaos Horde player would score 1 point for each enemy unit present in the battle. Again, the Necromancers have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units present. So that's how many points the Chaos Horde player would score. The Necromancer player would then have to lose a unit of their choosing. They select a Goblin unit to lose. They now have to retreat. Viable areas to retreat to are any areas which are adjacent, including across a sea bridge, and that are either empty or already contain pieces of their color, even if this would start a new battle, as shown here. They could not retreat here, however, as they have no pieces of their color present.
So for 5 pip cost right here, the Chaos Horde can capture villages in these locations. They would spend 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's all 5 of their pips, and they would take them. Okay, and they can do this before or after the battle right here. You can build anywhere off your citadel or off a village. So right here, I could build to here, and then that creates adjacency to this one. All right. Also, if I wanted to, I could build adjacency off of any village, even though this isn't connected to the citadel. I can still build adjacency off of there. So I could build to there. I could build down to there. All right. But I can also build off units as long as they have an uninterrupted line that connects back to my citadel either through units or other villages. So I could place one there.
In this phase of the turn structure, you will draw Bloodstones up to your hand size, while checking to see whether any of your units are in the desert. If they are, and they are not a unit type that can survive there, then they are removed and placed in your discard. This concludes our turn structure breakdown for Bloodstones. Hope this helps you enjoy the game.